Peace. Today's Supreme Mathematics is knowledge, build or destroy. Going through the Allah Power Rule month. This is your brother Power Born Allah, and I got some advice for your mind. So, knowledge is the basic foundation of all things in existence. Build means to add on, destroy means to take away. You can also look at it as deconstructing something. Destroying to deconstruct, build meaning to construct. And one of the things that come to mind is when we get into the knowledge add part of the month and the mathematics, it's a reminder that it's your knowledge that you add to the cipher, it's your knowledge that you utilize to check somebody else's knowledge, it's your knowledge that leads to your own wisdom, it's your knowledge that will bring forth your understanding, and so forth. And like today, it's your knowledge that you have to decide if I'm going to build or destroy in a particular situation. And I emphasize your knowledge because we cannot live off of somebody else's knowledge. We cannot live off of anybody else's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I'll even go so far as to say we don't even live off of Allah's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I'm talking about Allah the Father, as many will affectionately call him by. Because then we avoid the responsibility that comes with obtaining, researching, analyzing, examining whatever subject matter, person, situation is in front of us for ourselves. We could easily just, deflect and say, oh, well, they the ones who told me that. Nah, we don't do that in the 5%. You know what I mean? Not the true and living. And actually the 5% should only be the true and living. That in itself is something to keep in mind. When we look at today's degree in the 1 to 40, it says, what is the duty of a civilized person? And the answer is, the duty of a civilized person is to teach he who is savage civilization, righteousness, the knowledge of himself, the science of everything in life, love, peace, and happiness. And I was looking at that as from the standpoint as an original man, a leader, a father, a brother, and how those are standards that the original man set for self. Those standards are not set by any other ethnic group. They're not set by the colonized, the European. It's us. We're the ones who originally set all of those. So we have to keep in mind, we cannot have our standards dictated by the devil, because if our standards are dictated by the devil, then we could never become become God. We will never become earth. We will never have that civilization like we're supposed to. We will never manifest that righteousness like we're supposed to. We will never know the science of everything in life. We will never have the true knowledge of ourselves, and we won't ever be able to obtain love, peace, and happiness after mastering those standards, So just remember, we set the mode. It's not dictated by others. A lot of times when we see with our young folks, and I say 85%, no matter what the age, because people are constantly comparing themselves to others, and in turn, they're setting their standards or whatever they're trying to meet and obtain, they're basing it on somebody else and not what they came up with for themselves. And that's a recipe for disaster. So just remember that, y'all. We got to make our own knowledge. We got to build off of our own knowledge and not compare or feel, not go by what we know, or need to go by others people's standards. And we see it amongst 85 when people make comments about doing work with a bunch of original people versus Caucasian people or any other ethnic group. We see that people they don't even realize it, but they're dictating their standards based off of another group, when we as the original people of this planet Earth set all the standards that we see people trying to imitate nowadays. With that, I'm going to say peace.